All right, so we're back, and this time we're taking a deep dive into the life of a legend.
A legend on and off the court.
Yeah, you know him for his slam dunks and game-winning shots. But today, we're getting up close and personal, exploring the love life of Michael Jordan.
That's right, from his long-lasting marriage to Juanita Venoy to his current wife, Yvette Prieto.
We'll uncover the stories behind the headlines, the romances, and even get a glimpse into how his children are doing today.
Buckle up, because this deep dive is going to be a fascinating look into the man behind the legend.
The man behind the Air Jordans.
You know what's always struck me about Jordan? It's that despite his intensely public persona, he's always seemed to crave privacy when it comes to his personal life.
Yeah, for sure. It's like he wanted to keep those two worlds completely separate. The basketball superstar and the family man.
And that's what makes this deep dive so intriguing. We get to peek behind the curtain and try to understand how he balanced those two sides.
Exactly. All right, so let's start at the beginning with the woman who stood by his side for a significant part of his journey, Juanita Venoy. They met back in 1984.
Before the championships, before the global fame.
Right. And they tied the knot in a Vegas ceremony in 1989.
It's amazing to think about how much their relationship evolved over the years.
They went through so much together. His rise to stardom.
The tragic loss of his father.
And of course, they raised 3 children together, Jeffrey, Marcus, and Jasmine.
Speaking of the kids, it would be interesting to know where they are now.
Yeah, what are they up to?
It can't be easy living in the shadow of such a famous dad.
You would think the pressure would be immense.
It seems like they've all carved out their own paths, though, which is pretty impressive.
So tell me more. What are they doing?
Well, Jeffrey, the oldest, played some college basketball.
Okay, following in Dad's footsteps.
But ultimately decided to pursue a career in business.
Makes sense. I mean, having Michael Jordan as your dad probably gives you a pretty good network.
He even worked for Nike's Jordan brand for a while.
Wow, keeping it all in the family.
Yeah.
What about Marcus? Did he also go down the basketball route?
He did play college basketball as well, but after graduating, he decided to take a different path.
Interesting. So what's he doing now?
He actually owns a sneaker boutique called Trophy Room down in Florida.
That's pretty cool. A sneaker boutique. I bet Michael Jordan's shoe collection is insane.
It's a pretty clever concept, too, paying homage to his dad's legacy while still creating his own space in the world of sneakers.
I love that. So both boys dipped their toes into the basketball world, but ultimately found their own passions. What about Jasmine?
Jasmine actually went in a completely different direction.
Really? So no basketball for her?
Nope, she graduated from Syracuse University and now works for, you guessed it, Nike Jordan brand.
It's a Jordan family affair over at Nike. Okay, so back to Michael and Juanita. They were together for 17 years.
Which is pretty impressive considering the pressures that come with fame.
Yeah, especially in the world of professional sports. But as we know, things didn't exactly end on a happily ever after note.
Unfortunately not. They filed for divorce in 2002.
Oh, wow. I remember that.
Yeah.
It was huge news.
They did reconcile, briefly.
So there was a chance they might work things out.
It seemed that way for a while. But ultimately, they decided to separate for good in 2006.
And this wasn't your average celebrity divorce, was it?
No, it was a high-profile event that really captured the attention of the media.
Especially when the settlement details were revealed.
Exactly.
Juanita reportedly received a whopping $168 million.
Making it one of the most expensive celebrity divorces in history.
That's a serious price tag.
It makes you wonder what ultimately led to their split.
Right. Was it the pressure of Jordan's fame, the constant media scrutiny?
Or just the natural evolution of a relationship over time.
Yeah, it's hard to say for sure, but it's clear that their marriage faced some serious challenges.
Especially in those later years.
Okay, so let's fast forward a bit. After the divorce, Jordan kept a pretty low profile when it came to dating.
He seemed to retreat from the public eye for a while.
But then in 2008, he stepped out with a new woman on his arm, Yvette Prieto.
Tell me about her.
Yeah.
What's her story?
Well, Yvette is a Cuban-American model who seems to have brought a sense of stability and happiness into Jordan's life.
They met at a nightclub in Miami in 2008 and dated for 4 years before getting married. And their wedding was a pretty big deal, right?
Oh, absolutely. It was a lavish ceremony in Palm Beach, Florida.
I remember seeing the pictures. It looked incredible.
A-list guests, a performance by Usher, and a custom-designed wedding dress by Vera Wang.
It definitely seemed like Jordan was ready for a fresh start and a more private approach to his personal life.
It seems like they've managed to maintain that privacy, at least to some extent.
Good for them. It can't be easy with his level of fame.
They welcomed twin daughters Victoria and Isabel in 2014.
Wow, twin girls. That's got to be a whole new level of chaos for MJ.
It certainly adds to his already growing family.
So what's life like for the Jordan family these days? Are they living the quiet life, or is Michael still making headlines? It seems like they've struck a good balance. Jordan is still involved in the basketball world, of course, as the owner of the Charlotte Hornets.
Right. I can't imagine him ever fully stepping away from the game.
But he also seems to be dedicating a lot of time to his family and philanthropic endeavors.
That's great to hear. It sounds like he's found a sense of peace and fulfillment in his personal life after all those years in the spotlight.
I think you're right.
But let's not forget about those other women who were linked to MJ throughout his career. There were some pretty high-profile romances and even a few scandals along the way.
Oh yes, the rumors and intrigue.
And a few other women who are rumored to have captured MJ's heart, at least for a little while.
Get ready for some juicy details.
This is where it gets good. All right, so let's talk about some of these headline-grabbing romances that swirled around Michael Jordan during his bachelor days.
Let's start with one that caused quite a stir back in the 90s. Carla Nafel.
Oh yeah, this one was big news.
She claimed to have had a relationship with Jordan and even sued him, alleging he had promised her financial support in exchange for her silence.
Wow, that's a pretty serious accusation.
It was, and it put Jordan's public image under a lot of scrutiny, especially since he was still married to Juanita at the time.
It definitely brought the darker side of fame to the forefront.
It showed just how vulnerable even the biggest stars can be to scandals and public scrutiny.
What's even more intriguing is that Jordan reportedly paid Nafel $250,000 to settle the lawsuit.
That's right, which only added fuel to the fire.
People were convinced there must have been something more to the story.
The payment definitely raised eyebrows, but it also speaks to Jordan's desire to protect his privacy and his family from the potential fallout of a very public and messy legal battle.
Makes sense. I mean, he's always been fiercely protective of his family.
Absolutely.
So what happened with the paternity claim?
Well, a DNA test was conducted, and it proved that Jordan was not the father.
So case closed.
In a legal sense, yes. But the whole ordeal definitely left a mark on Jordan's reputation.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even someone as seemingly invincible as Michael Jordan isn't immune to the challenges of relationships.
Especially when you factor in the intense pressure of fame and the constant media attention.
All right, let's move on to another woman who was linked to Jordan during his playing days. Vanessa Williams, the former Miss America.
Ah, yes. This one certainly captured the public's imagination.
Vanessa Williams and Michael Jordan. It seemed like such an unlikely pairing.
It's an intriguing combination, for sure. Williams was known for her beauty and grace, while Jordan was at the peak of his athletic dominance.
I remember thinking, how did these two even cross paths?
It just goes to show that the world of celebrity is full of surprises.
Right. So was the relationship ever confirmed?
Not officially, but the rumors persisted for quite some time.
And what makes this even more interesting is that Williams later married Rick Fox, who also played in the NBA.
Talk about a small world.
It really does make you wonder if there's some kind of unspoken connection between the worlds of entertainment and professional basketball.
Maybe there's something in the air.
Okay, next up we have a woman named Laureate Data Jolie, who you might recognize because she also dated Tiger Woods.
Now, this is where it gets a little spicy.
Oh yeah, this is one I remember.
Jolie actually compared Jordan and Woods in the bedroom, claiming that Tiger was the more skilled lover.
Ouch. I bet that didn't go over well with Jordan.
Knowing his competitive nature, I'm sure it didn't. Who knows, but it's a fascinating thought.
All right, let's lighten the mood a bit with another woman who claimed to have had a fling with MJ Kylie Ireland.
Ah, Kylie Ireland, the former adult film star.
And she has a pretty hilarious story about being with Jordan when he got a call from Charles Barkley. Jordan and Ireland are hanging out in his hotel room when Barkley calls and asks, "What are you doing up so late?"
And Jordan, being Jordan, confidently replies, "Dude, I'm playing the Nuggets tomorrow. I'm not worried. They suck."
I could just imagine his swagger.
But here's the kicker. The Nuggets actually ended up winning that game.
No way. Seriously.
Seriously, it's like a real-life Space Jam moment.
That's hilarious. It just goes to show that even the greatest athletes can have their off nights.
And sometimes those off nights might be linked to some off-court activities.
Okay, moving on to another high-profile woman who was linked to Jordan Nicole Murphy, Eddie Murphy's ex-wife.
Their relationship was definitely noteworthy because it happened just a year after Nicole's divorce from Eddie Murphy.
So she was already in the spotlight.
Exactly, which probably made dating Jordan even more intense.
Yeah, I can't imagine the media frenzy.
It seems like Jordan was drawn to women who were already familiar with the pressures of fame.
That makes sense. He probably felt a sense of understanding and connection with them.
I think you're right.
All right, let's wrap up this whirlwind tour of Jordan's rumored romances with Ashley Dupree.
Ashley Dupree, the former model and Playboy playmate.
Her presence on this list definitely reinforces a pattern we've seen throughout Jordan's love life.
A tendency to be drawn to women who are successful and visible in their own right.
It's almost as if he was attracted to the same qualities in his partners that he embodied himself. Ambition, confidence, and a certain level of star power. So we've explored this string of rumored relationships, but let's not forget about the woman who ultimately won Michael Jordan's heart.
From Juanita to Yvette and everyone in between.
It's like a whirlwind tour of Michael Jordan's love life.
Or some pretty high highs and some low lows.
Definitely.
And with that, we'll leave you to ponder the many facets of Michael Jordan.
Be sure to share your thoughts on his love life in the comments below.
Did any of the romances surprise you?